Morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's thought for the day. The theme of this week's thought for the day is search for meaning. And the search for meaning or purpose is one of those fundamental things that makes life what it is. And we're going to start in the book of Genesis, where we read about the people getting together, and it says, this is what they said. They said to one another, "Let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, a tower with its top to the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves." The word name there means reputation or renown or fame. These people were searching for meaning, to make a name for themselves. They were building a tower to the heavens or to heaven. This is a ziggurat, which is a large building, square at the bottom, with sloping stepped sides, with a shrine at the top. It was a gateway between heaven and earth. In fact, one of the names of it is the House of the link between heaven and earth. And these people and succeeding generations built these large buildings. The Babylonians continued under Nebuchadnezzar, and as you are aware, that we have the Egyptian pyramids, we have the lofty structures of the Mayans, the Empire State Building, the Petronas Towers, the Shard, the Burj Khalifa, and even higher buildings are planned. They are powerful symbols of man's ability, man's incredible architecture and engineering. So powerful are these symbols, in fact, that when terrorists wanted to strike a blow against the USA, they chose the Twin Towers as a target. Now, there's nothing wrong with striving for excellence in architecture and engineering, and we rightly admire these wonderful buildings. But they are searching for meaning, reaching up, reaching out. In the following chapter, we read God speaking to Abraham, and this is what he says. "I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great." See, all civilizations rise and fall, but the faith of Abraham survives. Abraham discovered the transcendental God, the God who stands outside the universe, the creator of the universe, who made it possible for the first time for life to have meaning, not just a mythical or scientific explanation. Babylon's philosophy resonates with the scientism of today and encourages us to look for meaning and salvation in science and technology. But scientific analysis and explanation does not yield to us the meaning for which we as persons long. Babylon will leave you empty. God will not leave you empty. As the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein says, to believe in God means to understand the question about the meaning of life. To believe in God means to see that the facts of the world are not the end of the matter. To believe in God means to see that life has meaning. The transcendent God reveals himself to Abraham and tells him that his life's meaning will be found in him. Not in building, although it's wonderful, as I said, our building. You see, what the people of Babylon and Babel did was to try to discover purpose and meaning Sinatra-like. They did it my way. Whereas Abraham was prepared to accept his purpose and significance in God. That marked him as a man who had remarkable confidence and trust in God. And faith is the foundational principle of God's heavenly city. See, God is not against cities. It's a matter of what they stand for that counts. Abraham discovered a transcendent God. He found his purpose and trust in a living God. If we're honest, sometimes all of us find it a battle to find meaning and purpose in life, even those of us who are Christians. Sometimes we feel other people have got a greater significance in life than us. We feel that we are nobodies or nothings. We feel that other people's names are important, but our name is nothing. But let me tell you today, When you know Christ as your Saviour, when you found faith in this wonderful God, you have a meaning. Every one of us this morning has a purpose in life. One of the important things is to find it. We'll talk about that later this week. But Abraham found it in this living God. And he lived his life from there on. In chapter 12, God's calling him from Haran and to live for him in the future. As you know, the Tower of Babel crumbled and fell. And all these, sadly, these civilizations crumble and fall. As I said earlier, Abraham's faith survives. Let me give you let me read a poem by someone called Nola Passmore to end. The heart cry of the human race is for meaning and purpose, a sense of belonging. When human relationships fail to satisfy, and a need to know that we are unconditionally loved, in spite of our circumstances, a need to know that we're not an accident of chance, but people of design, we need to know that we have a future and a hope, even when everything around us seems to be falling apart. Isn't that where we are today? But sometimes the news is so harrowing, it's so hard to listen to it sometimes. Everything sometimes is falling apart. Abraham discovered his rock, his faith was God. I trust that as we look forward to this week's Search for Meaning, you will discover your meaning and purpose by putting your life and your foundation on this living God. I ask, Lord, this week, as we search for meaning, as we all do at times, may we establish ourselves and find our meaning and purpose in living for you each second of every day. Amen.